All right, let's go. I want to accomplish a lot, but I was booking no results. I was blaming my circumstances, but myself, for my lack of development. Over the years, I had to learn these brutal truths that I want to share with you today. Accepting and reminding myself of them allowed me to humble myself and build a foundation my future self could rely on. And fun fact is, that future self is me today. And everything I'll do today will benefit me in a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 4 years from now. So embrace the truths that I'll share today to confront your fears, to overcome resistance, to remain disciplined, and make progress towards becoming the man you desire to be. So let's not wait anymore, because the first one is, nobody is coming to save you. There was a time when I was working to get a promotion in a retail job. I wanted to become a shift leader, and I asked my manager, hey, what is it that I need in order to become a shift leader? And the answer she gave me wasn't the one that I expected, but it was the one that I needed. She told me, you have to be one before you are it. You don't have to wait for somebody to tell you what you need to do. You need to take life by the horns and push your way through it. I was like, whoa, this is not what I expected. I didn't know what to think of it at the time, but it made sense because it creates a habit. If I'm constantly waiting for somebody to tell me what to do, where to go, then I will constantly wait until somebody appears in my life with everything that I want to do, whether that's building a business, whether that is building my YouTube channel, whether that is whatever, building a family. I'll be waiting for someone to initiate it. No, I should be the one that is looking for the answers, that is taking action and working his way to making it happen. Nobody has to scout me and to give me an opportunity. No, I'm the one who saves me. I have to work for it. Waiting only will have you wait. Wait for what? Wait for it to magically happen? Nah. And this applies to everything. To your mental health, to your relationships, to the money you want to make, the purpose that you want to have in life. Everybody is too focused on themselves anyways. Why should anybody care about you and think about you? I didn't realize that up until I had that conversation with her. So just like that, I'm the one who stands here recording this video. Nobody tells me what to do. If you want to become the greatest version of yourself, you have to be able to do this. You have to be able to be the one who initiates it for himself, because this allows you to take control over your life and book the results that you want. That leads us to the second point, and that is to act without knowing the answer. A mistake that I used to make a lot in the past is that I sat here questioning, what is it that I should do? And I didn't do anything. Just wondering wasn't going to get me anywhere. Just wondering about what is it that I like? What is it that I love? Who is it that I want to marry? Who is the man that I want to be? You can question all those things like I did, but nothing happened. Why? Because I wasn't taking the steps in order to figure it out. I wasn't getting up and indulging in different activities that would then clear the path for me, lead me to dead ends, and make me realize like, okay, this is not really the thing that I want to do. So I have to start doing something else to figure out what it is that I have to do. And as I was acting without knowing the answer, I started to get closer towards becoming the man that I want to be, because I was making mistakes, and mistakes allow me to learn. I was ending up in situations that I didn't want to be in, and then I had to step back and reflect like, wait, I don't want this. I want to get out of this situation. I want to get out of working this job because it isn't aligned with my values. What are my values? Oh yeah, one of them is to be honest and to have integrity. Well, working this job almost pushes me to be a dishonest man. Being around these people means that it is affecting my integrity. It is affecting my morals. I don't want that. But you only learn by taking action. This is the common mistake that I made for so long, and that kept me stuck. I saw everybody making progress, everybody booking results, and I hated them for it. But what was I doing? Nothing, exactly nothing. I was thinking, I was questioning myself. I had the intention, but just having the intention isn't always enough, because you have to get up and do it. If you got an idea, work on that idea. Don't wait. Also, don't wait for somebody to come to you with that idea. Initiate it. Just take the step. It is scary, but that's the point. It is the discomfort that we have to face in order to grow. It is that resistance that we have to stand face to face with and overcome by doing it. And that will build up confidence. And confidence will then make sure that the work becomes easier, because you've already been there. You've already been through the resistance. You've already been through the discomfort, so you can move on to the next thing. This actually leads us to the next point, and that is to be the one who's out in the field, not the one who's watching the game on the sideline. When I was in the earlier stages of working my way up to becoming the greatest version of myself, of working through the foundational layer, I used to spend a lot of time on social media watching other people who were booking results. I would watch my favorite artists. I would see what they were doing, but that's it. I wasn't getting up and standing here with actually this microphone and recording the music. No, I just sat there watching them achieve all the success that they want, make the progress that they want, reach the dead ends that they needed to reach in order to figure out where they wanted to go. But I wasn't in the game myself. And I wanted to. I literally wanted to. But I didn't have the guts. Because being in the game means that you will be confronted with a lot of pain. People will judge you. People will dislike you. Even the people who are the most closest to you. Because you're doing something that a lot of people are not even willing to do. And what do the people do on the sidelines? Look at it from the perspective of a football game. The people who are playing the game are doing everything they can in order to win. They have to take on a lot of shit from the people who are the supporters, who are watching the game. Whenever the player does something wrong, everybody's gonna boo at them, even their most loyal fans. That's not the person that you want to be. Because a player is the one who's out there fighting the war for you, who's out there doing it, and you're just criticizing them. So that's the mindset that you have to get out of. I was watching people on social media, whenever they did something wrong, I felt like a bit strange. But I didn't even know what it meant to be in that position. Now that I am working on becoming the greatest version of myself, like for example, recording these videos, having ideas to build up my business, I'm in the game. And whenever I talk about this to people, to my loved ones, it's scary. It's scary for them because that means I'll have to take risks. Taking risks means that life will be unsure. It means that I may possibly end up in a position that I don't want to be in for a specific amount of time. Should that stop me? No. But this is the price that you pay. This is the price that you pay when you are out in the field, is that you will have eyes on you. Even your friends will start questioning you. Even your friends, who most of the time are people who watch the game from the sideline and who are not in the game itself, they will have something to say about you. And it's scary because almost nobody is willing to do this due to the factors that are involved. The difficulty of becoming the person that you want to be is hard. You're most likely somebody who's already been on this journey, so you know that it's not easy. Having to do things you don't want to do in order to be able to work on yourself. To go down a path where you are a bit lonely, or pretty much lonely, because you don't relate to anybody. And you wonder, when will I find the people that I truly relate with, that I truly resonate with? All the decisions that you have to make, all the money that you have to reinvest, the jobs that you have to work up until you can finally do the thing that you want to do. The amount of times you have to say no to go to an event like a birthday party of somebody you like. And then eventually those people stop inviting you because they know you're going to say no anyways. People who stop calling you because they know that you won't even pick up because you're constantly working on becoming the greatest version of yourself and doing the tasks that are necessary. You deleting social media and making it even more difficult for people to get into contact with you. It's not easy. Definitely not. But it's better to be out in the game than to be the one who's watching the game from the sidelines. So that brings us to the fourth point. I am 100% responsible for the results in my life. I'm responsible for everything, my mistakes, the growth that I make, and also the progress that I don't make. When I was 20 years old, I started working my first job, which was in a warehouse. I was an order picker, and it was a company that distributed magazines to the companies that got them printed. The company that I worked at, they had their own printer, and the people from the manufacturing department, they would prepare everything, and I would then make it ready to be shipped and even load it into the trucks. And I would wake up pretty last minute before going to work, before having the bus to go there. I would then work 8 hours of my day, take the bus back home, and the first thing that I did is took my bike and I drove all the way to a friend which lived like a kilometer away from me, which isn't that far. I sat down in his home and we smoked weed. And as I was smoking weed, I was telling him, I don't have the time to work on my music. I don't have the time to work on my passion. I need to quit working this job. That's ironic, isn't it? I'm just sitting there, smoking a joint, instead of working on the thing that I want to accomplish. I was addressing the wrong needs. I was addressing the wrong situation in my life. And I was blaming somebody else, something else, for the lack of progress that I was making. What do you think happened? I didn't make progress. And it felt like I didn't have no control over my life. So I pointed the finger at that job. I eventually left that job with the intention to become a full-time artist. And what happened then? When I was home, I played Fortnite. That would be the first thing that I did. And then I'd work a little bit on music, but when it got difficult, I would then stop. And then I blamed other circumstances in my life besides me. I wasn't putting in enough of my time and effort into becoming the artist that I desired to be back then. I didn't release music for years and years on end. I was afraid. I was insecure because I wasn't building up the confidence. I wasn't doing the things that were necessary for me to grow. And I was actually blaming my insecurity for not being able to release music. I was blaming my fear and my lack of skill of not being able to release music. But I never looked at myself in the mirror and told myself, hey, Mark, it's you who led you to be in this position. It's you who keeps you in this position because you have the opportunity to go out there, to go to shows, to introduce yourself to people, to release the music, to start building up an audience, to confront your fears, to confront your insecurities, and you don't, because whenever it gets hard, you drop everything and you start looking for an escape through either porn or smoking weed. Congratulations. This is the result of all the actions that you have been committing. You are not the man that you want to be, that you see everybody else who is doing exactly that what you are not doing, getting the result that you want. Eventually, that led me to a full mental breakdown years later, realizing all the mistakes that I've made. That led me to be on self-improvement, to take control of my life, and to now be here, standing in front of the camera and talking to you. No matter what happens in your day, you are 100% responsible. You're the one who leads you to the path that you want to walk. Because it's you who either decides to do something or to not do it. The same goes down with reacting to a situation. I oftentimes hear people say, that person pissed me off. No, that person didn't piss you off. You allowed yourself to get pissed off and to react the way that you wanted to react. You always have an option. If you know that you're somebody who cannot control his emotions, if you know that you're somebody who doesn't know how to handle tough situations, then learn how to handle tough situations. Put yourself in them. Build up this, how can I say it, tolerance to it. And that only happens through exposure. That only happens by going through that situation. That's how you build tolerance. How do you build stamina to go into a boxing ring? By boxing. How do you gain muscle? By building the muscles, by eating the foods, by exposing yourself to the tasks that will get you closer to achieving that goal. Most people don't want to accept this, but you're here watching this video because you want to accept this. You want to grow. You want to become the greatest version of yourself. So take it with you because you are responsible for the growth that you want to make. And don't listen to anybody else who says no. Because when I overslept, I can't do the work anymore. Yeah, but what led you to be a person who oversleeps? Maybe you heard your alarm, you turned it off. Maybe your phone is with you. Set yourself up in a way that it makes it impossible, or at least super hard for certain things to happen. So as you're initiating, working on becoming the greatest version of yourself, you're out in the game, you're doing that what is necessary. You will eventually reach a point where things will be uncomfortable. And that leads us to the next and final point of this video. Growth lies behind a very thin wall of discomfort. There were often times where I sat here in this room where I wanted to do the work, and whenever it became a bit uncomfortable, I would shut off my computer. I wouldn't even continue. I would be afraid. I would step away and I would do something else. But what I didn't know, which I then discovered later, is that whenever I actually persevered and told myself, no, you're actually going to do the work, is when I made the progress that mattered. And that progress that mattered then eventually led me to become consistent, build momentum, and get the results that I wanted. As you do that, it becomes a habit. In my life in the past, whenever things in any position in my life, in any situation got hard, I would look for an escape. With everything, with a relationship, with jobs, with working on my business, with working on my purpose. Like, I was shooting myself in the foot because I had the habit of doing that. I didn't persevere in anything. So whenever challenges appear with anything, whether that's me working my full-time job and thinking I want to escape this job, which I have very often, every day actually. Like there are moments that I even think to myself, like I have to work a part-time job and I want to do that. And I'm journaling and questioning whether I should do that. But there are other factors that play into this that I currently won't go too deep into them, but you have to persevere. Because the moment you persevere, the moment you push through, you don't allow your emotions, you don't allow something that has happened in your day to control you. And that actually feeds into the previous one. And that is that you are 100% responsible for the results in your life. And as you are 100% responsible for the results in your life, that means that you're also responsible for persevering through the discomfort that will arise when you want to achieve something. What's so beautiful about this is that the more you do it, the easier it becomes, the more confident you will become. And sometimes you start something new. Like for example, when I started this YouTube channel, it was absolutely difficult for me to record videos. I would face a lot of discomfort. I would face a lot of resistance. And I wanted to stop working on them and I would look for other ways. There were many times where I sat recording these videos and I just wanted to do something completely different. I started to see all the facts like, oh, I'm not that good of a speaker in front of a camera. I feel insecure. I feel unconfident. Oh, what else can I do that will make me feel a bit more better and that is more within my comfort zone? Oh yeah, I know very well how to write good texts. So maybe I should do something with that. But I knew deep down in my heart that I was looking for an escape. So I brought myself back into the moment and said, no, I'm going to persevere. I'm going to do it. I have to do it. And by doing that continuously, I build up confidence to stand in front of a camera. And whenever those thoughts appear, which they actually rarely do nowadays, because of the repetition that I've had of going through the discomfort, going through the resistance, and actually wanting to get out of my comfort zone, it made me better. It made me more resilient to this. And now it's actually fun recording these videos. I look forward to recording these videos. The same applied to when I was making music. When I was writing lyrics, it was uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. I would write one line or maybe I'd write nothing. I'd think, what do I do? I have to quit, like there's no inspiration, but I kept writing, and most of my favorite songs came out of that. So you probably also have moments in your life when it was difficult and instead of persevering, you gave up. You're withdrawing yourself from the situation and you felt guilty. Well, that guilt is showing you and telling you that you've not lived up to your greatest self, that you've just looked for an easy way out. The danger with that is that it will reflect into every area of your life when you keep on doing that. So you must sit yourself down and remain in that moment and work the amount of hours that you wanted to work. Because when you don't do that, you will see that in other areas of your life. And if you relate to what I say, just analyze everything in your life during, like, specifically the moments where it was difficult and when you stopped doing something. Is it linked to this? And if it is, and you now feel some sort of way, some sort of emotions, negative emotions, pause. You can still change. You have everything in your control. Everything is within your own hands. It's now for you to take action and to be aware of that, to remind yourself constantly of that, and to do it, to sit there with the discomfort. No matter how difficult it is, trust me, you will eventually feel good about yourself and those emotions will eventually fade. And they will appear 100 more times, 1,000 more times. But you just have to continuously do that. And it will build up, how could I say it? You will build up tolerance, to say it in an easy way. And that will lead you to becoming the greatest version of yourself and build up that foundation that you want. I hope this video has been able to be of value for you. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comment section. I'm looking forward to having some interaction with you to know and how these 5 brutal truths that I need to accept for myself are relevant to you. So always remember that you are 100% responsible for the results in your life. Make the hard decision today, and I'll see you in the next one. All right? Bye-bye.